You know, we're here once again today to make sure a cop killer, a true cop killer, is not released onto our streets. We've come many times to this building so that the family of police officer Pajan and his partner Jones can give their victim impact statement and tell their story. At one time, it was almost routine. Tell our stories just to make sure, but they won't release them, because why would society want a cop killer on the street? Well, we know now that they've released Bell, and we know now that there's no common sense in this building, in those commissioners. So now we cannot take it for granted, and we will not take it for granted. We're here today to tell the story of this family and of this police officer who gave his life in the line of duty. And we're not sure if these commissioners upstairs will hear it, or will they make that mistake again and release another cop killer onto the street, a domestic terrorist from the BLA. Today, when police officers, and you can hear the sirens, are running back and forth to subway stations because there's rice cookers placed on the platforms. Why? To create terror, to make people think there's something wrong, to put fear in their hearts. Terrorism didn't start on September 11th of 2001. Way back in 1971, there were terrorists that killed our police officers and struck fear in the hearts of all New Yorkers. Well, today we're going to be talking about Bottom. We're going to be talking about a terrorist, and we have to make sure that he's not released onto this street. We also are concerned because now this family has seen the transcript of the last hearing. And in that transcript, Commissioner Shapiro asked this perp the questions. But the strange part is Commissioner Shapiro also answered those questions, feeding the answers so she can vote to release this terrorist out onto the streets. There's something wrong in the parole system. There's something wrong with these parole commissioners, and we as the public have to say it has to stop today. Don't release this cop killer, this domestic terrorist, onto our street. It's my honor today, on behalf of all of these police officers that stand behind me, the police officers that are in these radio cars, the police officers today that are standing guard at those subway stations, and this wonderful family, to introduce a true hero to every New York City police officer and all right-thinking people, Mrs. Pajan. Ma'am.
I'm here today to plead with the commissioners, just like my husband Joe pled for his life while Anthony Bottom stood over him with a revolver and continuously shot him. My husband was so brave, he did not want to leave us. But this man ended his life in a horrendous way. And this man also shot his partner, Waverly Jones, in the back. This was a coward. He did a cowardly thing. And this was all done for his policies, which he has not given up. I want to talk about Joe. And I want to say, these are the children that Anthony Bottom took away. Took away their father. Joe will never, ever come home. I want the parole board to know that under the blue uniform, there was a good, loving, intelligent man who took an oath to protect and to serve on the streets of Harlem. He worked in the 3-2 precinct. He did that. He loved his job, he walked the beat, and he died on the street of Harlem answering a call for help. Anthony Bottom assassinated my husband and Waverly Jones because they wore the blue uniform. We need to remember that under the uniform, there is a person doing their job, protecting you, and wanting to return home to their families when the day is done. Joe will never come home. We are still waiting for him in our hearts. Therefore, Anthony Bottom should never get out of jail till Joe comes home. Deny parole. The commissioners on the parole board need to continuously deny parole. Thank you.
Mrs. Piagentini, thank you for telling a story that no one can tell except for you and your family. We can't take this for granted. We've asked for the public's help before, and they responded, sending over 800,000 petitions to the parole board to make sure this cop killer does not get out of prison. Let's not take it for granted. Please, we need your help again. We always need your help. Take the time. Go on Keep Cop Killers in Jail on the New York City PBA website and press that icon to make sure these parole commissioners understand none of us want this cop killer on the street. And we have to make them understand that. So please go on. We ask for your help again. Help your New York City police officers. They help you every day. We're respectfully asking your help again. Please send this message to these parole commissioners. Questions? Yes, sir.
In recent years, we've seen President Clinton and Obama release certain prisoners for similar crimes. Over in New Jersey, we have Joanne Kesmard killed a state trooper. Do you think there's an atmosphere of people forgetting, or why do you think this is happening?
Yes, I absolutely believe there's an atmosphere where folks are forgetting the terrorists that were on our streets before September 11th, that were gunning down New York City police officers. Remember, they do that for a reason. We are a symbol of our government, and if you'll kill a police officer, it strikes fear in everyone's heart. If a police officer doesn't have a chance, the citizens don't. So I think folks are forgetting how dangerous the streets were and the blood that was shed to make them safe. We don't want it to go back to those days. We have to be vigilant. But because they've made mistakes in the past by releasing these cop killers and terrorists onto the streets, it has to stop now. We know it's been a mistake in the past. Today, let's make the right decision and keep this murderer behind bars. Thank you, everyone.